morning we were supposed to start, we had a telephone call from grandmother's house from a lady that I had interviewed to. I wanted a job to work in her dog kennel, and so she called and said, "Okay, you can come and work for me starting today." So as soon as I could get there, because I was in Brigham City, but
she was in Salt Lake.
And I worked all that summer and had my choice of any female dog that was going to have babies, and I was going to choose one of the babies.
Oh.
And I chose this little Boston Terrier and raised it until I was in the mission field, and then she died when I was on my mission.
Oh, really? You had her a long time.
You didn't tell how you got there, how you hitchhiked.
Oh yeah, from Brigham City to Logan to Salt Lake City, Brigham City to Salt Lake City, because grandmother lived in Brigham City.
Grandmother Owen?
The people that picked me up were two guys. One was in a army uniform, and the other one just casual. And they said
his grandmother put him out on the road to hitchhike.
Which grandmother?
Grandmother Hansen.
Grandmother Hansen. No.
Karen. No.
Lizzie Benson. Lizzie Owen.
Oh, okay.
Mother's mother.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, she let me go on the highway.
Put him out on the highway.
But they explained to me that they had to stop on the way and had changed clothes. I guess the army guy got casual and pulled up off the side of the road, up on a side of the hill, mountain along. I can tell you that won't come to me. Between Brigham and Salt Lake, just east of the Great Salt Lake. So, stepped at a house up there on the hill, and I sat in the car and waited for him to come out, but I didn't know what was going to happen. It was.
Were you frightened?
Okay, but I was frightened about it. And when they got in, the girl came out, who was in the house, came out. I don't know whether it was a wife or friend or who. Must have been a wife of the other guy. They were going to Salt Lake. And got to Salt Lake, and they let me out on downtown Salt Lake somewhere, and I just got home.
But he worked all summer for that little dog. That's all they paid him. The dog.
Grandfather was a wonderful man that was, when we got to know him best, he was already ill, and I remember him sitting in the family room off the kitchen in a leather chair similar to this, with his leg up over the chair, and he didn't have a lot of activity because he had such a bad heart at this time. So he must have been 60 or so with his heart problem, and most of the time was in the bedroom upstairs in bed until he passed away. But he was a great intellectual, spiritual giant, I thought, and felt, because he remembering this Sunday that we were in church with him, and he was speaking to the congregation and pounding the pulpit, and when we got home I asked why he was mad at the people, and I was told that he was just sincere and wanted to put forth the point that everybody should be paying tithing and enjoy the blessings, or they would not receive the blessings. And I never forgot that talk, or explanation. So he was, by this time, head of Utah Power and Light in all of Cache Valley, and a big, nice office downtown on Main Street in a building. And I remember visiting him in that building. And before that, then they lived in, when the family lived, when they first were married in Wellsville. He was mayor of Wellsville at about 22 years old. Is that right, Arlene? And even went on a mission after they were married. And grandmother had 2 or 3 children at that time. And he came home and then became mayor of Wellsville. That was fun visiting many years later. The tabernacle that he had a lot to do with getting built when he was in Wellsville.
Tabernacle in Wellsville.